We begin with an urgent search and rescue operation that is currently underway in the Atlantic Ocean. Right now, U.S. Coast Guard officials are racing to find a submersible operated by a company that runs tours of the Titanic wreckage. Officials say that this was reported overdue on Sunday and is said to have only 96 hours of survival time. We are told several government agencies and deep sea companies are working on reestablishing contact with this submersible. CNN's Miguel Marquez is joining us now live with more details on this. Miguel, what do you know at this point?
Yeah, the company that runs this operation, Ocean Gate Expeditions, does everything from science underwater to photography and video to tourism as well, to places like the Titanic wreckage, and have done it for quite some time. It costs about $250,000 per person to do this. What we don't know is exactly who was on this submersible. It can hold, if it is the one that they have up on their website, it can hold up to 5 people. It has 96 hours worth of air, but it all depends on how many people are on that submersible and how deep it is. We know that the U.S. Coast Guard, along with Canadian Air Force as well, is assisting in this. They're all moving to this area by fixed wing and boats, trying to get to the area so that they can help out. But look, this is extremely remote. These depths are incredibly deep. The Titanic itself is about 3,800 meters. That's about 13,000 feet under the ocean. Just extreme remote and difficult place to operate on a good day. The Canadians do have a P-8 or a Poseidon aircraft that does have some ability to see basically underwater. It's a sub-hunting aircraft that can see underwater to some degree, but it's not clear if they know where this craft is and what exactly happened to it. As you mentioned, they have about 96 hours of air in sort of a perfect conditions, but it's not clear, given that this was reported missing 24 hours ago now, how much more air they might have and where this search goes from now. Right now, all hands on deck trying to find this craft. Brianna?
All right, Miguel, thank you for the very latest there. I want to turn now to an expert on this. We have Butch Hendrick here with us. Butch, you have 30 years of experience as a rescue diver. You're also the president and founder of Lifeguard Systems, which is an international rescue and recovery training company. Do you know where you begin with a rescue like this?
Well, I think the same way the United States Coast Guard and the Canadians will be working, the first thing is to discover, does the unit, the submersible, have releasable beacons, emergency beacons? So if it does, then it would have possibly released a beacon or two to the surface so that they could be tracked. A signal would be coming out off of that our Coast Guard, the Canadians, the Brits would be able to pick up and then be able to start to track where it might have come from. We'd be looking at what has happened in the last 48 hours to the weather. What conditions may have changed that are not normal? What would have happened with the currents at the depths and in between the bottom at 12,000 plus feet and the surface? Could a current have suddenly taken and overrode the power of the unit, the submersible that's down? Next would be that the proper submersible should have a beacon or two that would be attached to it that could be sending out an underwater signal that would tell people how to find it. So I'd be looking for those, looking at the weather and tracking on what would have happened to if it got taken off of the site. The Coast Guard will certainly be doing something very similar, and they'll be coming in with their own trackers. If they find a beacon that was released from the submersible, they would see where it was, track the weather, put another one of their own in the water and track it and see how it would go and where the possibilities would be. I know that listening to one of the admirals, the Coast Guard is coming in with their lower end, shallower water side scan sonar units at the moment, with larger, more capable pieces of equipment behind it. And using side scan based on the debris field, you'd have to have a beautiful mapping sequence of the entire wreck that could be a layover, if you will. We would be laying one on top of the other in order to see what's new, what is there that we didn't see before. The potentials, one, that the unit has not had the power to maintain with the current, more likely based on the original videos and original thing that Bob Ballard did with the Titanic,
Yeah.
is that it's maybe caught on something.
And I mean, these are huge concerns, Butch, obviously. So we do appreciate your time as we have so many unanswered questions at this point, and quite frankly, are trying to get some more details about those who are engaged in the rescue here. Butch Hendrick, thank you very much for taking the time with us this afternoon. We do appreciate it.